Okay, we're going to start now. I'm going to talk about the theme, Finding Your Aliveness, because I feel that's the most important theme now. As you know, in different periods I don't know before Freud, but since Freud started, the patients change. You know, in his time it was hysteria and things like that that patients had, and now we never see hysteria, but we see patients that don't know what they feel, and they don't know what they want, or they don't know what they want to do, and they're out of touch with their aliveness. And so I think in this day and age, actually in any age, that's the most important thing, because the most important thing about us is that we are alive. Because if we're not alive, we're dead. And so the most important thing we do is breathe, and to be aware of our environment, to have our senses, to be able to hear, to be able to see, to be able to, all the other senses, smell and taste and all that, and to feel ourselves physically, and to have our emotions, to be in touch with our feelings, and to be able to move. So those are all things that are most important. And the reason this is in psychiatry is in childhood, as children become afraid or in pain or depressed, the body contracts. The body contracts in order to reduce the pain or the fear or whatever it is. And with that, of course, the child breathes less. They hold their breath because that helps reduce the pain and the hurt and the fear. And so that's why this theme is in psychiatry, but not in any other branch of medicine that I know of, where they really focus on finding aliveness, although it's kind of strange in a way. But our main work is to help the person be able to feel and express what they could not express as children, their fear, their pain, sadness, anger. And as they do that, and we help them with the breathing, they become alive. Now, to work through all the problems that came with the difficult relationships of childhood, it takes a long, long time. But we found out with Berselli's work that just getting the vibrations going and the grounding can relieve a lot of stress and help people feel better. And so we're Heiner and other people are going ahead with that work and finding that can really, really be helpful to get people into their bodies a little bit without the fear of a new experience. People are scared to death of a new emotional experience. That's why bioenergetics has grown so little, because people are afraid of new emotional experience. Once they get their defenses up, because they survived childhood, they don't want to open that up at all. And psychiatrists are among the worst in that. I think the most defended. From my own experience with my colleagues, I feel so disappointed in them because they don't want anything to do with feelings. You know, they ask the patient now, are you depressed or are you anxious? And then they write the prescription. That's as far as they want to go. And of course they're controlled by the drug companies, which is another thing I will not get into. But people are really afraid of emotions, mostly because as children we got in trouble. If we, even some of us were punished for crying, and sure, punished often if we expressed anger and really got mad at our mother or father and really told them off. You're not supposed to do that. Anyway, so what we're going to do is try to help people get more in touch with their feelings and at the same time their body. And to me, the body means aliveness. Not a dead body, but the alive body. And I just say here that, in a way, strange, but I'll just say, when one wants to know what aliveness is, that process of trying to know kills it. Because almost you have to have a dead body to study it, huh? To study the anatomy, or to study the chemistry or whatever. And so I don't get into how come the aliveness. What I want is more of it, how to free it up. And I don't want to, I take the aliveness that comes for granted, huh? And that's what I have faith in. I take the fact that the leaves come back on the trees now, as they have the past month or two. That's my given, that aliveness wants to come out, that the flowers bloom again in the spring as they did. The swallows have come back to our porch as they do every year. It's a miracle. Huh? That's a miracle that they come almost exactly the same day. It's a miracle that we can breathe, and it's a miracle our heart beats, and it's a miracle that our digestive process digest the food, and the blood cells pick it up and take it around through our bodies by the heart circulation of blood. This is absolutely miraculous. And I want to show one thing here. I didn't make enough for everybody, but I'll pass around 2 or 3 of these so you can see it. This is from in Dr. Lowen's book. I don't know whether Voice of the Body. I don't know whether he originated this or not, but this is a diagram, this pyramid of the organism, huh? At the top, a little bit here, you have ego, reason. The next one is subjective thinking, and the next one here is emotional spectrum. Most people, that's as far as you get, huh? But look how small this is compared to this base, which is the biology, the body, the wisdom of the body, and that's where we want to get to, as much as we can, because that's where all this magic is. That's where healing takes place, huh? I can never heal anybody. I've never healed anybody in my life. A surgeon never heals anybody either. He may take out something that needs to be taken out, but the healing comes from the body, the growing together of the cut surface, and the connection, making the connection again, comes from the body. So we have to be in this biology level, this body level, for healing to take place, and this is true for sure emotionally. Now we can help people on these levels, these upper levels, some, but with the people that really want to understand their childhood problems and really want to work through, we have to get down to this layer where people can follow their own impulses and let their bodies and their emotions do what they need. And that's when real healing takes place. Now what we do now, Dr. Lowen, one of the big advances he made was to work with people standing up. So he worked with what we call grounding and get the patient to let down. It's very interesting in English that slow down, calm down, let down, settle down means down. It means down. Upset, uptight means up, huh? So we work right from the beginning. The first time I see anybody, I work on getting them to let down into their legs and feet. And so we can begin to help somebody right away. And the next thing we can do then as we help them get down is to put them in a position where they begin to feel some vibration in the legs. Because that's another big step of Dr. Lowen's. As you know, the exercise book with Dr. Lowen and his wife is named The Way to Vibrant Health. The vibrant health. And Dr. Lowen told me many, many times that the vibration is really, really important. So we start that right in the first session. Grounding, feel the feet letting down, vibrating, and then we begin to wonder what the person is able to express at the beginning level. Because I just said, everybody's really afraid to express feelings and have a new emotional experience. So with the patient, I try to feel where they are if they can express anything emotionally. Many times, patients can't express any emotions for a long, long time. They know something's wrong, they know they want help, and they come, and I've worked with some people, maybe a year before they get to the point where they can express any feeling, although they try. Our friend Marty, we know in New York, was one of them. Really, he knew intellectually that he needed to find his aliveness and his feelings, and this is a brilliant guy, Heiner and I know, a professional bridge player who would play cards all night, and the next day could remember every card that everybody played. I mean, this is, that kind of mind is unbelievable. But he couldn't feel, but he knew it. He was smart enough, but he did work, and began to get into his feelings. But the point is, feelings are often very, very difficult to get to. We start with the grounding, with the vibrations, and one other thing that I begin fairly often, fairly early now in the therapy, is to ask somebody if they have any impulses, because many, many people have lost touch with their impulses. They really don't know what that means when I say, what impulses do you have? They really don't get it, huh? What I mean is, an impulse is to drink when you're thirsty, eat when you're hungry. But in terms of moving the body or letting sound out or moving, they don't get it. But I've begun to ask, so they begin to at least observe themselves and be thinking about it, of what the impulses, because we have to get to the impulses to get to the body. You never can get to the body by my just saying, do this, do that. Unless they get swept into the emotion, and when they're kicking, get really into their anger or frustration. But just my saying it and having them do that mechanically, we never get there. But the emotions sometimes sweep people in, and then they get to their emotional feeling or following one's impulses. So that's enough. So I think I just start now working, and then we have a little exercise of grounding after the first work. I'd like to work with somebody for sure who I've never worked with. And if there's anybody here that's never done any bioenergetic work and wants to work, I'll be glad to work with you. Only if you feel like it, you don't have to. Nobody has to work, but only if you want to. If you've never done any bioenergetic work and want to experience this weekend, come up here and I'll look at your body, and then I'll start working. Say